about resume writing, CV writing, and one minute video. Okay. The lecture is uploaded on YouTube. You can have a look at it. The previous one and the one before that. Okay. For the people who are coming, there are guidelines uploaded for the term project. Okay. And I've made an assignment where you have to submit the topic of your term project and the group names for now. Okay. You will start working once everything is approved. Okay. So you submit the topic, I will approve it. Then you start working. Okay. So if you go to the blackboard, you will see two books there. Okay. You will see two books on the blackboard. Both of them are related to report writing. This is from one of them. These slides are from one of those books. Okay, so why do we need to write technical reports? Why are you studying this course? Why do we need to talk about technical report writing? In most of the engineering tasks, you have to write a technical report, whether you are from any field of engineering. Your work will involve writing technical reports. Okay, you may write technical reports to your boss. You tell them about your project, about your work, about your team. You may say, okay, I will become my own boss, right? This is a new thing, huh? Become your own boss. Okay, which you are right now, by the way. It will not get better than this, believe me. Okay, so enjoy yourselves, but not too much. Okay, so you say, I am my own boss, I have my company. Then you write technical reports to your client. Okay, consultant, you write technical reports to your client. If you are in the government sector, then they have a million reports per month, something like this. Okay, so technical reports are part of it. Even we in the academics are not, we cannot get rid of it. Okay, like we're writing reports left, right, center every day. Okay, so what is the purpose of writing technical reports or papers? They summarize the information in a way that is easily accessible. Okay, so you have to keep in mind everything is not reportable. You may have 100 things happening around you. From that, you will select which are the things you have to present in the report, include in the report, and you have to include it in a way that is easily accessible. We'll talk more about it, but to give a small example, you open the report. Now the report says, in figure number 1, you will see the graph going up. Okay, easily accessible means that I look on the same page, I see figure number 1. Okay, and the opposite is I keep on shifting pages, and figure number 1 is after 20 pages. So it's mentioned there on page number 1, and the figure is there up at page number 20. So I look at the figure and then I go back to page number 1 to see what was it saying. Okay, this is a very small and simple example of what we mean by easily accessible. So everything, when you are reading the reports, it should answer your questions. Remember, it should answer your questions. It should not produce more questions in your mind. Why is he saying this? What happened to this? What happened to this? Okay. So the report should be concise. I already mentioned here, we are summarizing the information. We are trying to make it as concise as possible. Okay. Especially with your generation, right? Where people are WhatsApp messages, right? You cannot read beyond one line. Class today, not today. Something like this. Should be concise as possible. It should be accurate as well. The numbers, the information should be accurate. Anybody can take this report, and if they want to verify it, then they can. Okay. You will not say it was an approximate number, or it was old information, or I thought it was. There's no excuse like this. Okay, and it should be complete. Okay, so we are trying to leave out irrelevant part, but it doesn't mean that you leave out the relevant part as well. Something is important for the client. For example, budget. In order to make the report concise and summarize, you left the budget out. That is the most important part for the client. Okay, so then it's not complete. The report is always, technical reports are always aimed at a specific group of readers. They are not for everybody. Okay, so I already mentioned client, for example. So the report is for the client. Okay, anybody from any other profession may not understand what we are talking about. Okay, you are from chemical, so your report would be a group for a group of readers which are from the chemical engineering background. I may not understand it. Okay, it can happen. Okay, that's fine. Okay, because if you try to make it understandable for everybody, then it will be a mess. You cannot do it. Nobody can. Okay. Yeah. So the objectives of the course, I already mentioned earlier as well, but this was part of the introductory slide actually. So it's there to prepare students for writing technical reports and papers in engineering practice, and to help the students in engineering to approach report writing effectively during their studies and to present the reports in a professional format. Okay. So to prepare yourselves for writing reports related to engineering, and to give you a way or method by which you can approach the report writing and its presentation. Okay, I mentioned earlier that writing the report, before writing the report, you have to plan. Okay, so this is the planning part. Okay. What is a good report? Okay. Sometimes you are listening to someone, okay, and after 30 seconds you know, should I listen more or not? Right? Not in the class. I'm talking about something outside. Okay? Don't tell me now I had class, I'm going. You cannot go, okay? This is forced. Okay? This is my thing. This is a torture, you have to get. Okay? I am talking about watching a video or a clip or something like this. Okay? It's 10 minutes long, 20 minutes long, but after 30 seconds you can decide should I go on or not, right? Same thing happens with a book. With a book or a report, same thing happens. Okay? Why I didn't give the example of the book before? Because you guys don't read the books. Agreed? Everybody agrees, right? You don't read books. Very good. Okay, so, but a good book, a good report tells you itself that you should read more. Okay? If you want to learn, okay, how to speak effectively or how to write effectively, just pick anything which you like. That's it. Okay, pick anything which you like to listen or which you like to read. If you like it, that means it is what? It is good. If you start reading it and you like it, it is good. It's so easy. Communication is so easy. Okay, written communication, oral communication. Okay, you don't have to look at how, where is the comma and where is the full stop, and did he make this capital, or should he use is or was here? No. When you are reading it, your mind doesn't take these things into account. You may see some mistakes here and there, but overall you like it, that's good enough. Okay? So a good report is easy to recognize. Nobody comes and tells you this is a good report, you should read it. When you open it, you know it. Clear? Clear? Okay? And take this from me, from experience. Okay? I open the report and I know that this is a good student, this is a good report, and you know it. That's it. And same thing with the bad one as well. Okay, some of you, I'll open the assignment. I know this assignment was prepared in 10 minutes. Okay, the whole semester was done in 10 minutes. That's it. Okay, and the other one I know that how much time they have spent. Okay, so it's easy to recognize. Okay, everything is in place already. Yeah, that title is precise and informative. Again, we don't want very long titles, and we don't want that the title does not tell you what the report is about. Okay, the title is as precise, as concise, and as informative as possible. So, for example, you say the title of the report is chemical engineering. What? What about chemical engineering? What about, okay, the title is civil engineering. What? Okay, so it's very short, but does not tell you anything about the report. Alright? Okay, so you will be giving me titles, so try to make a good title. Okay? Keep it short, and at the same time, it should state what the report is about. Okay? People will look at the data and decide whether they want to read it or not. Logical format for the reader, I mentioned earlier as well the example of the figure. Right? What is the figure? What is the logical format? You are saying figure 1, you should show figure 1. Right? Okay. If you look at it from the broader perspective, then you are saying that the first chapter, for example, the first chapter is the introduction. Okay. The first chapter is normally the introduction. Okay. And the introduction, you are introducing the terms, you are introducing the topic, you are introducing the report itself or the data. Okay. And then you move on from there. But if you put the first chapter as results, doesn't make any sense. Okay. The references, for example, come in the end, usually. But if you put the references in the middle of the report, doesn't make any sense. Okay. Because they will break the flow. Okay. So logical format for the reader, he needs to, you think that he should know about this, then I should present the next item, then you should put that item first, and so on. Okay. Headings should indicate the content of each section. Okay. There will be some readers who will not like to read the report word by word. They would like to quickly go to a section and read the information which they want, get the information which they want. So, not only the title of the report, the title of each chapter and section should be concise and informative as well. Okay? So again, you should tell the reader what you are going to present in this heading, under this heading. And he should be able to get the required information as soon as possible. Diagrams are clear and well labeled. Okay? Labeling means you have to have a caption with the diagram. Diagram, graphs, drawings, whatever. Okay? Figures. Every figure should have a tag, caption. Okay? Should have a caption. That is important. That is necessary. Okay? But there are sometimes some things which are within the diagram and you have to label them. Okay? For example, the diagram could be about parts of a machine. Okay? So then the title is not enough, the caption is not enough. You have to show the which parts you are talking about. Okay? This part is showing the piston, this part is showing whatever. Okay? And so on. Okay? So labeling may be required in the diagram, and then we need a caption as well. Okay, so for good report writing, we have 10 rules. Okay, the first rule is keep your readers in mind. Who will read your report? Okay, person from which profession will read your report? Is he an accountant? Is he my client? Is he my boss? Okay, and so on. Is he a manager? Okay. Keep the report as short as possible. I already mentioned the information should be there, but as concise and summarized as possible. Organize the information. Again, something which I mentioned, the logical format. Okay. The order of the report should be appropriate for the reader. Include accurate references I mentioned in one of the earlier lectures that we have now too much information, right? Getting information is not a problem for us. Okay, I gave you the example of ChatGPT as well. It can create references for you. So it will tell you whatever you want, basically. Okay, but your information should be accurate. And how do I know that it is accurate? That you provide me an accurate reference for it. I took it from this source, this book, or whatever. Okay. Ensure that what you are writing is accurate, concise, and straightforward. Okay, write straightforward sentences. Okay, sometimes we like to make sentences very long, use difficult terms which we don't understand ourselves. Okay, in order to create a good impression. It may create a good impression, but in the end, it's not useful for the reader. He cannot understand it. What I say in the previous slide. When you open a good report, you like it. Okay? If what you are writing is long and difficult terms and so on, it may look good, but it will not feel right. When you start reading it, it will not feel right. Okay, I will start reading it. I know this guy knows too much, or this girl knows too much. Yes, their English is very good, or their Arabic is very good. Start writing reports and analysis. So I will have that impression. I will not read it. Yeah, you are very good, you are high class, you are advanced, your language is very. I will not read it. Okay? So it's important that you write the report using short, accurate sentences in a straightforward manner. Okay? Include diagrams with the right labels in the right place. Again, both these points I already mentioned. Every report should have a label, a caption, and should be where it is mentioned. It should be where it is mentioned. So I don't have to shift pages to see which figure you are talking about. Yeah. So a report at the start should have a summary. Reports, when they start with a summary. Okay. So a summary gives the whole picture of the report in one page. Okay. Whatever you have written in the next 50, 60 pages, it tells the reader in one page. Okay, so make sure you cover everything or as much as possible in the summary. Okay, usually, and this is for you guys as well, people forget about the results in the summary. They don't write the results. What did they find in the end? Because they feel, since the summary is at the start, so we'll write the summary when we are starting to write the report. No. You write the summary at the end. It appears at the start. It comes at the start for the reader. But for the writer, you write it in the end. When you write it in the end, you already know what are the results. So some people forget about the results and some people forget about the methods. Which methods they have used. Normally, okay, the common mistakes are they forget about these things. And then the summary is just general talk. If you remove the results and the method, then summary is general. I can take the same summary and put it in any other report as well. Because you are saying this field is very important, this topic is very important, that's it. That's not enough. Okay, you should tell me what you are going to present in the report. Okay. After you have done, and this is from where I know whether you have written the report in 10 minutes or 10 days. Okay. Check the report for technical errors, typing errors, and inconsistency. Okay. Technical errors are very common technical errors. You forget about the units. Okay. You're writing about volume, you forget to write the units. A technical mistake. Or you wrote the wrong units. You were writing an equation, you made a mistake with plus sign, minus sign. These are technical mistakes. Typing errors. Errors with grammar, errors with spelling, and so on. Typing errors. Inconsistency. So, when I started the report, my objectives are. Okay. When I came to the last chapter, now I am writing our objectives were. See the problem here? I started with what? Mine. Okay. My objectives are, and I ended with what? Our objectives. What? Okay. So now you see two problems here. One is the manner I am addressing myself, me and our. Okay. And the other problem is the tense, are and were. Okay. So this is error of consistency. Okay. If you are going to say I, it should remain I. You will remain one, even if you get married. For the report, it's one. Okay. You are I. Okay. And same thing with the tense. If it is in present tense, normally you don't use present tense, because the people who will read the report, they will read once it's finished, right? Finished, right? You use past tense. Everything is done. Okay. But again, a common mistake. You are going to use past tense or future tense or whatever. It should be same. From start to end, it should be same. Okay. So these are just examples, but you get the idea, right? What do you mean by consistency? Okay. The same level of language from start to end. Consider design as well as content. Okay. So content is a text, right? Content is what you are writing. Okay. The numbers, the text, and the design is the chapters, the headings. Okay. So consider both things. Consider design and also the content, the text as well as the headings. Consider both of them. Both of them will make a good report. Okay. Sometimes the headings are very good, but when you read inside it, doesn't make any sense. Sometimes the text is very good, but the reader doesn't know where this text is. Okay. I'm looking for example, information about testing of materials, but I don't know in which section you have put it, because your headings are not informative. So you have to consider both things. And the last point is, what's the last point? Produce the report for the readers. Okay. Now look at these 10 points. Do you see any error here? Look at the 10 points. Do you see any error? Where's mine? Down. Everything is fine?
Yes.
Yes.
First part and last part.
First part and the last part. See? You must be thinking this guy is all talk. You cannot even take care of one side. 10 points. Right or wrong? Look at this. Okay, this is like this for a reason. Okay? This is because of this reason. The most important party of your report is who? In the last slide, what did I say? The report should look good for the reader. Okay? Even if you read the other points, they are from the point of view of the reader. Okay? You have to place yourself in the shoes of the reader. Okay? You have to look at the report from the perspective of the reader. Okay? So don't write the report and say this is very simple, this is very difficult, this is too long, this is too short. Yes, it is too long, too short, simple, difficult for you. But what about the reader? Okay? Sometimes you feel this information is not necessary. But if you look at it from the point of view of the reader, then it becomes necessary. Okay? So, reader is the most important party of your report. Okay. When you start writing the report, you have to ask yourself about these questions. Okay, you have to ask yourself these questions. The first question is, what does the reader already know about the subject? So what is his knowledge level about this subject? How much he already knows? Okay, so you don't want to give him too much information, which he already knows. He will get bored, and this is not good. Okay, so your leader can be, for example, a teacher. Maybe you are writing an assignment for a teacher. Then you already know that he knows the definitions and so on, right? It can be for a minister. Okay, so then he knows about public dealings and public, area development and these things. It can be for a client. Okay, in that case, maybe time and budget is more important for them. Okay, so maybe he does not know about the design aspect, the engineering aspect. Okay, so what is the knowledge level of the reader? What do you need to tell the reader? The purpose of the report. What is the main purpose of the report? Okay, maybe you did something, some experiments, and you want to show the results. Okay, maybe you are going to do a project and you are telling the client or the leader how will you do it, what will be your procedure to do this project. Okay, or maybe you are just showing your efforts. Okay, so if you join an office, then they will ask you to have appraisal every year and write for your team members and these type of things. So there you are showing the efforts, what efforts others and you have made during the year. Why does a particular reader need this particular report? So what is the aim of the reader from the report? Okay. Does he need the report just for the sake of information? Okay. So we have lots of government reports which they collect every year, just for the sake of information, that we need this information, this should be in our database. Okay, companies collect this information, okay, for their database. So they maintain this. Okay, so or they need to increase their knowledge. Okay, they want it for their record, they want it for assessment. So on the basis of your report, they will assess you or the others. Okay, so your report will decide whether you will get the next contract, or whether others will continue the job or not, something like this, or you will get the next project. What do you want the response from the reader, from the client, from the reader? After reading the report, what is your desired response? Okay, so your response can be, maybe you are proposing a new product and you want his approval. Once he approves, then you can move on. Maybe he is a minister, you are building a new housing project. Okay, or you are now importing new cars in Bahrain which will fly. Okay, and you will gift one to me and so on. Okay, so you are looking for the approval. Great, you know about it, right? You know more than finances. You are looking for budget. Okay, so budget is not always from the client. Budget is not always from the client. Okay, for example, budget can be from the ministries as well. They are not the direct client. Okay, or budget can be from a financing company. So they are an investment company and you are looking for financing your product or your project. So they are totally outside. Okay, they will not make the product, they will not use the product, but they will give you finance for the sake of investment. Okay, so your desired response is what? Money. Okay, give us money, always. This is the desired response, always. Note it somewhere, whatever you are giving. Okay. How can you, so once you have the answer for these questions, then you move on to the next stage, okay, which is you ask yourself how can you bridge the gap between the reader, what the reader already knows and what they need to know in order to produce the desired response. Okay, so how can I get this response and how can I bridge the gap between what they already know and what I am telling them? Okay, how can I shift their knowledge level from here to here and then get the response which I need? Okay, so it's a new product, the client doesn't know about it or the investor doesn't know about it. How should I present my report to them so that I get the finances? Okay, the teacher thinks I am not a good student. So how do I make him feel I am a good student, I am working hard, and then get the grade? You all know how to do it, right? You are an expert in that. Okay. The next question is, what level of formality is required? How formal should I be? Okay, like what type of language should I use in the, basically, what type of language should I use in the report? Okay, so, for example, if you are writing the report for your colleague who is at the same level as you, it will be less formal. Language will be direct. Okay, if you are writing the same thing to the director of the company, it will have more formal language. Okay, I don't know how if you can see it or not. One thing. Okay. And no matter what I do, it keeps on messing up. Wherever possible, wherever required, use appendices for multiple readers. Okay, so you feel that there is a reader, the report may go to someone who is from the engineering background. It may go to that person. Okay, so there is some information which could be useful only to that person. Okay, now there are two ways to handle it. You make your entire report for everybody, engineering, non-engineering. Okay, then it will not be concise. It may have too much information. Both of these people will get bored. Okay, engineers will see too much non-engineering information, and non-engineers will see too much engineering information. So both of them will not be interested. Okay, so what we will do? My primary reader is non-engineering, so I will make the report for him. For the engineering guy, I'll use an appendix. I put something in the appendix. So appendix comes at the end. Appendix comes at the end, but it is mentioned in the report. It is mentioned in the table of contents. Okay. So anybody who is interested in a particular sort of information, he can look in the table of contents. Yes, I want this. So he will go directly there. But he is not the main person. Information which goes in the appendix is not for the main reader. He is a secondary reader. It may go to him, it may not go to him. He may be interested in this thing, he may not be interested in this thing. That type of thing goes to appendix. Clear? Okay? Something which you need, which you may need. You are not sure. Okay? If I am sure about something, then it goes in the report. Clear? If I am sure that this person will read the report and he needs this information, for sure, then I will put it in the report. Okay? But if it's a chance, that person may need it, may not need it, the report may go to him, may not go to him, that instead of taking the chance of ruining my report, I will use appendix. Okay. Okay. These are two, this is one example. Okay, so you can see this is a comment and this is a response. Okay, the comment is from an expert to someone who is a student, like a student or someone who is at the lower level. Okay, so you can, if you read the comment, it's very direct. It's very direct. See, the regression model is not practical for the regression data. So there is a problem with the model and he says it directly. Okay, because the person he is addressing is lower than him. Okay, now this person is responding. This person is responding to this guy. So now it's reverse, right? Okay, now the student is responding to the teacher, right? So now you see it's longer. Okay, and how does it start? With a formal statement. Okay, and there is an acknowledgement that you are the boss and I am at the lower level. Okay, if you read this and if you just read the opening statement, you know who is the boss, right? who is the one who is criticizing? You know it. Okay. So this is what we were talking about, the level of formality required. How formal you should be, what type of language you should use. So it depends upon where are you and where is that person who you are addressing. Okay, you don't need to read the whole thing, but this is just to give you an idea. The next one, I'm not sure. Okay. So you know it's about me. Okay, so this is from my supervisor, okay, and this is from me to them. Okay, so again you can see very direct. Okay, alhamdulillah, it's a good comment. Excellent, and one comment is added, please attend, the paper is ready, and so on. Very direct. Okay, if you look at this one, so all of them were very senior than me. This guy is junior. Why did I do this? Anyway, I could have written a separate email for him. But anyways. So you can see 2 out of 3 guys were senior than me. So obviously I have to attend to most of the readers. Okay. So as some of you may know that this happened and this happened, please review it. I'm also asking for recommendations and so on. Okay. So again you can see the type of language changing. Okay. When a senior person is saying something and when a junior is saying change. Okay, so the language changes. So you have to keep in mind this. Okay. So when you are preparing for the report, you will collect some material, right, which you will include in the report. Okay, material meaning the things which you will, the data and the text. Okay, you will collect it. So this material can be divided into 3 categories. The material which you are collecting for the report, or which you may have at your hand, in your hand, may be divided into 3 categories. Okay, important information which is directly related to the objectives. So there is information which you have, and this is directly related to the objectives of the study. This is why this information is the reason you are writing the report. This information is the reason the reader needs a report. Okay, so you have this one. Then we have borderline information, meaning what? It could be interesting for some of the readers. Okay, so the report is about a new product. The information about the new product is the first one. Okay, the cost of the new product, or maybe the time it will need to produce that product, it is borderline. It could be interesting for few of the people. Okay, so that is the second type. Okay, and then you have information which may be interesting to you, but it's not relevant to the objectives. Okay, so it's interesting information on the same topic, but it's not directly related to the objective. For example, you are talking about the new product. So design of the product, first thing. How much time you need to prepare this product? Second category. Okay. What other products are in the market? It's not directly related. This is interesting for you. That is the third category. Okay. So these 3 types. So you have to organize the material into these 3 types. Which information is directly related, which is borderline, and which is not related. Okay. So then we come to the use of appendices. So appendices should be used to remove from the main text all information which is not needed by majority of the readers. Okay. So which of these categories can go in the appendices? There are 3 categories of content, right? So which of these will go in the appendix? Third one for sure, right? And 2 could go there, right? Okay. This is a judgment call. But the first one, will not do, right? Okay. So second one, the judgment call. You may decide, you may not decide. partially there, but okay. But the main thing is again who. Think from the perspective of the readers. Okay. What are the possible applications of the appendices? Experts may feel patronized by too much explanation in the main text. Okay, and non-experts left confused by lack of information. So appendices can satisfy both parties. Okay, if you have seen some of the reports, at the start of the report or the end of the report, they give explanation about main terms in the report. Okay, what is meant by tensile strength, what is meant by compressive strength. They give like a, what do they call it? List of abbreviations. Sometimes it's the list of abbreviations. Sometimes it is acronyms. Okay. So what does it do? List all the important terms which are in the report and explain them at the end. Okay. So there is not too much explanation. But if somebody wants the explanation, it's part of the report. He doesn't have to go and look for other books. Okay, so this is something like this. An engineer may be frustrated by technical information which is interwoven, meaning mixed. Okay, so technical information is mixed with the costing. Okay, so but technical and financial readers will be happy to find, both technical and financial readers will be happy to find costings in the appendix. Okay, so the technical information is in the report and the cost is in the appendix. So again the same principle. Some people may be interested in the cost, so they don't have to ask you. It's in the report, but it's not the main item. It is not mixing with the technical information. The technical information is very clear. Okay? Okay, then within the report you will have sections and subsections. Okay, you can say chapters and sections as well. So divide the information and place it under headings that are as specific as possible. So when you have the information, you decide whether it will go in section 1 or section 2 or section 3 or where. Okay, you should decide before putting it there. Okay, decide before putting it there. It will save time. Okay, and make sure the headings are as specific as possible. The headings exactly show you what is under them. The headings of the section, subsection should exactly show what is under them. Okay. Okay, so this type of practice will make your report easier to read. I don't know why there is right space. Okay. Also, readers can identify and refer to sections which are relevant to their interests. Okay, so the readers can go to different sections. They don't have to read the report word by word. Some of the headings which are used in the report, or you can say some of the sections which are normally there in the report. A title page is already there. Okay. Acknowledgements. What do we write in acknowledgement? Acknowledgement means what?
Main points.
No. What is acknowledgement? Anybody?
Conclusion.
No. No. Huh? I acknowledge you. You heard it. Nobody acknowledged you, right? Huh? Nobody has ever acknowledged, right?
Make attention to you or something?
No. People that? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like I said, nobody acknowledged you up till now, right? You are good people. Okay. Receive your first acknowledgement. Okay. Acknowledgement means thanks. Thanks for support. Okay. Somebody gave you money, somebody helped you with the report, somebody helped you with the lab, some organization helped you with the material and so on. So that comes in the acknowledgement. Summary is there. Summary is comes under different titles. We will discuss it later on. Table of contents should be there. Introduction, terms of reference, scope. It depends upon what type of report you have. What type of report you have. Okay. So if it is something in which you are giving something new, then it's introduction. If it is something related to legal document, then in terms of reference. If it is something related to a specific project, then it is scope. Okay, so it depends upon what type of report you have. Procedure which you have adopted during your project or in writing not writing the report, but doing the work for the report. Okay, so procedure, how did you collect the data? Which experiments did you use? Which equipment did you use? How did you collect the data? Which equations did you use? So this all comes under procedure. Then after applying the procedure, what did you find? Okay. Then you come to conclusions. Okay. So in the conclusion, you will take the things from here, the most important items from here, and put it or rephrase it in the conclusions. Okay. So conclusion is not anything new. The conclusion comes from the previous sections, from the introduction, from the procedure, from the findings. Okay, so you see which things are very important, okay, or which things are your addition. Okay, we said how much the readers know and what you want to tell the reader, right? So whatever you want to tell the reader, that a big part of it comes in the conclusion. But conclusion does not have anything new. Doesn't have anything new. Recommendation can be of two types. Recommendation can be of two types. What you want the reader to do in future based upon your findings, based upon your conclusion. We found this product is good, so everybody should use it. So we can get rich. Something like this. Okay? Or recommendation can be for future work. That we have tested the strength of this product, but we did not test its environmental effects. So the other people should test its environmental effects. So recommendations are of two types. Okay, what they should do with your findings, or what they can do to find out more about the same topic. Okay, then we have references. Sometimes we also call them bibliography. Appendices, I already mentioned them earlier. Okay, some of these sections can be merged. You can change the names of these sections according to your report. All of these things are possible. Okay, so I mentioned, I think in the term project guidelines as well. Keep it in your mind while you are writing your reports. Okay, I know it's the first lecture, so by the end of the semester you will all forget about it, but don't, please try. Okay, any questions? Okay, just give me a second, I have to take that.